So I've just sold this lovely guitar and now I need to pack and ship it. And if you've never done it before, shipping a guitar can be a little bit of a tricky process. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do when shipping a guitar and some things that you might want to be aware of to protect both your guitar and your money. First, if you're selling your guitar with a hard case, check the case for anything loose inside like a trem arm, a pick, or anything that can move around, as that can damage the guitar's finish. Next, make sure that there's nothing loose on your guitar that can fall off in the case, because again, it will bounce around and it will ding your guitar. Also, make sure that the trem arm isn't attached either. Then, loosen your guitar strings to remove some of the tension from the headstock. They don't need to be super loose, just a little bit slack. Now, the main aim is to not leave any room for the guitar to move around while it's being shipped, so look for the areas that your guitar might move or wobble around. Start by adding some support to the headstock, because this is the most vulnerable place, and that's doubly true if you have an angled headstock like this one. Just add enough bubble wrap or packing paper to fill the spaces underneath and to the sides. But you don't want to overpack it either, because that will cause the headstock to lift and then put extra strain on the neck. You want just enough to fill the space and to stop it from moving. Now you want to do the same under the neck heel and the sides of the guitar. Again, making sure not to overpack, because that can cause more problems. I like to use bubble wrap or packing paper. You can use newspaper. I would say just be careful, because you don't want any of the ink to transfer onto your guitar's finish. Once everything's packed in, just give it a test to make sure that nothing's moving around, and then I finish it off with a layer on top just to secure everything in place. Now you're going to need a box to send it in, and here's a top tip: try calling your local guitar store, because they might have some spare lying around. These boxes aren't cheap by themselves, and if you can save a little bit of money, that's great. But if you do buy one, make sure it's good quality and double walled. Now, like we did with the guitar in the case, we want to make sure that the case doesn't move around inside the box when it's being shipped. So just add a little bit of extra support around the top, the side, and the bottom. Again, you don't want to overpack it, just enough to make sure that it doesn't move around inside the box. Once that's done, I like to put some fragile tape on the box. Now that's not going to do anything inherently by itself, but hopefully it will give the delivery driver second thoughts before throwing it into their truck. Now on that point, it's really important to check the insurance that your shipping handler offers when you're selling. I found that a lot of postage services in the UK don't offer damage to musical instruments specifically, which puts you at a risk of losing your money and your guitar. So double check the shipping handler and also the platform that you sell through. I know that eBay and Reverb do offer insurance. Once it's all packed up, you're ready to send it off to its new home, and probably fill its space with another guitar. As always, thanks for watching, subscribe for more guitar tips, and I'll see you in the next one.